Emily and I are chopping down the weeds in the farm just to try and keep them down. We chop down the weed that the buffalo can't. The buffalo won't eat. It's really hot. The trouble is, when you're 98 years old like me, it makes it very hard work. But I suppose it's good exercise. Stop being so lazy and come and help. In a minute I'll show you the nursery fields where we planted the rice. Let those leaves dry out a bit and then we rake them off and we have a fire a little bit later. Not today probably, but once they've dried out a bit. Okay. There's the lifeline, the water and the chair in the shade. I'll just take you over to where we've planted the seed. This is the farm. This is one part of it. I can't remember how many. Mimi, how many rye is the whole farm? How many rye is the whole farm? No, the whole farm. The working part of it, the bit that we actually use to grow rice, is about 9 rye. This bit here, anyone who might have seen some of my old videos, the fields are here, but they never really grew really good rice because the ground was too high and it always used to dry out too much. So that was a bit of a problem. But it's on this bit of land over here where that tree sort of leans over to the left. In front of that, if we do build over here, that's where we're going to build the house, along there. So the view will be right out there. It's quite nice. You get all this, when it's rice season, you get the waft of the rice smell, which is quite a smell on its own. It's almost a cross between like a malty, wheaty sort of smell. Anyway, these are the nursery fields. And they've just been dug up. We've had to clear all these paths. It may not look like it, but they were sort of like waist deep in weeds and what have you. So we've had to clear all that by hand. Why I don't look like Andy Middleton, you know, the SAS man, I just don't know. But anyway, there's the so 2 days ago we put all the rice seed in, and it'll be about a week before it really starts sprouting through. Then I think it's there for about 2 months or so, 2.5 months, and then it's pulled out in bundles. You pull it out, bundle it up, and then it's taken over to the main field where it's all sort of spaced out, and because they literally fill out. See, it's no good just throw the seed in, because they all cram up against each other and they don't get their full potential. The rice seed, you know, the bit that you pull out is about half a metre long, I suppose, but they grow about 10 times their size in sort of in girth, so they don't all squash up against each other. Just over here, they've just cleared a little bit of land there. They're going to build another little like little farmhouse thing, you know. It's a sort of place where when you're working, because our farm is about 1 kilometre from the house, I suppose, so you want somewhere to eat and rest and what have you. But over here we've got like a small lake, which is quite nice actually. It's sort of be nice to have a little boat on there, like a little rowing boat or something like that on there. But we've been pumping the water out of there with a water pump, pumping it into the nursery fields for the rice. But it was pumping like all day, and it hardly looks like it's gone down an inch. So but anyway, so that's the lake, and there's another smaller one just the other side of it. We almost went arse over tit then. Hey, Mimi's still working over there. She's a Trojan, that girl. She does know how to work, that's for sure. There's me. I have to sit down like every 15 minutes. I have to sit down for about, well, especially when we first start, because my body's sort of got to get used to it again. You know, I am 65 years old. I'm no spring chicken anymore, even though I may look like it, but I'm not. And when we're sort of cutting the rice, that little tree there, we put like a hammock in there and chairs, and we sit there during the day while we're sort of doing the work. That almost contradicts itself, doesn't it? I sit there while I do the work, and it's where we put our chairs to have a break. You have to have a break when you're working in this sort of heat. Anyone who's done it will know exactly what I'm talking about. The heat is absolutely so oppressive sometimes. You can't, there's no air, very little wind for some reason, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere the wind will blow up. But there's a smaller lake here which leads into some of the lower fields, and that's quite deep. That's about maybe 10 foot, 11 foot deep in the middle. That's quite deep, that one, and that leads out to some of the fields. But we're right over here, the farm right over here, right basically as far as the eye as you can see, and then where those two long palm tree there's a little gap, there's a break there. Somebody else has got like a little farm in between, and then there's we've got another big part of the farm over there as well. Her brother's in the middle of building a small house on it actually at the moment. That little patch of very green leaves you can see over there, we're going to tackle that this afternoon. That's all I'm sure. Otherwise it shades the rice. So that's it, that's how it's done. Once the rice is put in, it takes about 3 months, I suppose, something like that, for it to grow to maturity. But you've got to catch it just right. In the last, it's like almost like a woman having a baby. You know, the doctors are checking them every 5 minutes, because if the rice is left too long, it starts to fall over, and makes it an absolute nightmare then to cut. And it takes about 10 times longer to actually try and cut the rice. If it's all fallen over, it all tangles amongst each other, but all the time it's still standing. You can go through, you know, maybe 4, 5, 6 of us go through a field, one of these fields, in about a day, all done by hand. It's all done by hand, and then bundled up, and then a man comes along, it's all collected, and we bring it into like a great big haystack, I suppose, for the want of a better word. And then the threshing machine comes along, or as Mimi used to call it, the washing machine. When I first started doing it, she said, "Oh right, we have to wait now for the washing machine." I thought, washing machine? What do they do? Wash the rice first before they? But she meant threshing machine, bless her. And that's it. I won't bore you with any more. I better get back and do a little bit more weeding. And I'll try and post this on later today. Okay, be good everyone. Nice talking to you. Just fill you on a bit, show us how real men work. Alright then, you all take care. Bye guys.